Hi, I'm Peter J. Ray. Welcome to Adventures in History. Today's topic is Dearest Mother and Dad. Love, Ruth, John, Mark, Jan, Patricia, and Peter. 1983, Part 179. These are letters which were originally published as Small Shaw Family Memories Collection, or SFMC number 92, published on March 7th, 2003. Letter from the editor of the SFMC. Yours truly, Peter J. Ray. Hi, everybody. Greetings. Well, everything is fine here with Alice, Tim, and yours truly. Another school year is drawing to a close. My 14th year teaching. The Rest Celeste graduation will be on Friday, March 21st, here at our new place on Allenby Street. The school magazine has been completed along with the RBA Rest Celeste Basketball Association cards. So final exams, calculation of grades, graduation, then it's fun, till my daddy takes the T-bird away or some such. Patricia phoned us yesterday with the happy news of her vacation in the Dominican Republic, the country I was obsessed with in 1982 but never went to, where the people speak Spanish, have a Spanish African culture, and where they love baseball and produce an amazing number of Major League Baseball players from such a small country of only 8 million people. We're looking forward to hearing from John and Ruth, Mom and Dad, about their epic voyage and cruise from Tahiti to Bora Bora in the South Pacific Ocean. That must have been something. Sorry you weren't feeling well on that trip to California, Dad, and congratulations on receiving the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Federation of Insurance Council. That's quite a feather in your cap, and so well earned and deserved. Way to go, Dad. Today is a quiet Sunday afternoon here. We're not going to the Roosevelt Park as Tim is studying for final exams. Only grade 4, but you know the Asian work ethic at LaSalle Green Hills. A week from tomorrow, we will be transferring our Cy Young Baseball League over to Tim's school. My negotiations with Coach Nong Nong Kalanog at LaSalle Green Hills went well. We'll have the program every day in the summer from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. This will involve basketball, swimming, baseball, soccer, baseball cards, tag, and fellowship. We trust all is well with you good people. Thanks for everything. Love, Peter. 21508 Avalon Drive, Rocky River, Ohio, 44116, October 3rd, 1983. Dearest Mother and Dad, thank you so much for your phone call for my birthday. It was quite a surprise. I should have called you. It had rung quite a few times, and I hadn't reached it in time each time. It meant quite a lot to me to be remembered so well on my birthday, the most since I was 21, I think. I mean, it meant more to me this year. I guess it was because I was feeling so vulnerable about my eyes. I did have to have the operation, and probably should have had it before that. You and Bud were right. I did have to slow down. Not that I'm so fast anyway. Today's such a beautiful day, warm and sunny, and I'm out on the lounge, and Lake Erie is so beautiful too. We had a lovely, long, smooth sail yesterday and really appreciated it. I'll enclose the negatives of the pictures. I had hoped to get some enlargements for you, but maybe later, after you use the negatives. I think Connie was planning a trip east in October to visit Winnie. She may come down here. For my birthday, John brought me a dozen lovely salmon shade of roses and a card with such beautiful words that it brought tears to my eyes. Mark and Janice phoned first thing in the morning to wish me happy birthday and sent a lovely card too. They had just moved across the street and to a bigger house and had put up my paintings. Then Charlene Norris phoned from Chicago. Her husband was vice president of Standard Oil and is vice president of a coal company. Their son was killed in a car accident, and their nephew, aged 25, just died of cancer in California. Then Lucy Rodine brought me a lovely yellow carnation arrangement. She is the wife of our superintendent of schools and has no kidneys or spleen. She's on dialysis every other day, waiting for a kidney transplant. After I took Peter to the bus for work, a parcel arrived, a lovely cut glass bowl from one of Mary Faulkner's bride wedding guests. I also had nice cards from John's mother, Carol and Dave, Patty, who also phoned that night when we were out to dinner, and got us the next night. Sunita, Peter's girlfriend, who sent a brass pineapple bookmark and lovely card on handmade paper with flowers. She had sent lovely roses following Lakeside. Sharma Quilkins sent a card, and Dick and Joan sent one, and Shar came with lovely flowers too. John and I picked up Peter after work, and John took us to top of the town for a birthday dinner and birthday cake. Bud's card arrived later with the great newspaper article about your 60th wedding anniversary. It came out so well. I was thrilled at how good the picture came out. Weren't you pleased? I liked the way he cut it off with the event's headline. The ones you sent for Mark and Patty had it cut off. Could he have one like Bud's, and I'll have John get it copied? The others were cut down too much. If you pay for that, I'll pay a donation for your Christmas cards, okay? News article. I should think that you should have had a lot of favorable comments from it. Mrs. Bark's flowers and cake came out too. I must take it to the bakery to show them. We got a cake for John's mother's 85th birthday on September 23rd. Did you think to send her a card? And I told them at the bakery about it being in the newspaper. Ruth Faulkner brought me a lovely basket of flowers too. Mrs. Barks wrote a lovely note regarding my painting. I was having trouble with my eyes, and I was supposed to go back to the Cleveland Clinic and should have gone back sooner. I went in on Friday, September 23rd, John's mother's birthday. Fortunately, Peter drove me. I had had a detached vitreous, but he had hoped the retina wouldn't tear, but it had. He examined me, and the doctor said, "I'm going to operate in 10 minutes." I phoned John and felt ill to my stomach, and while they were examining me, everything started to go dark in that eye, and I panicked. My good eye. Apparently they do laser on some parts, but mine was hard to get at, so they did a freezing Krylon thing. I really was upset and very cold. It was so good Peter was with me and drove me home before he went to work. We went to Carol's Sunday. She had a birthday dinner for her mother. Lenore and Dale were there, and Lenore gave me a lovely gold bracelet from Venice worth $1,500 to $2,000. She has 20 of them and gave 6 away. Carol had a very lovely one, too. Dale had made me a lovely stand for my paintings of walnut. So good of them. John took me back in for my eye checkup, and the doctor let me look at it, and it's healing nicely, except I have all this blob of spots in the center of my vision. I just had too much going on. Got very hot at Lakeside at my art show, about passed out, and then we had the wedding group 3 evenings until 2:30 a.m. And then we've raised $12,000 for the Ohio Watercolor Society, and I've had so much paperwork and stress about that. I'm sure you're missing Bud. We should have had you come here while he was away. You often come in October, beautiful days. John's dad died October 11th, a beautiful day. Joyce Summers invited me for lunch and a boat ride tomorrow. They moved to Vermilion Lagoons, where Nan Gregory's mother lives. Huggy, and their home is on the water. Her daughter, Joyce's daughter, was born 6 months before Patty and has severe cerebral palsy, and she's going into a permanent home. Today is Brian's birthday and Joan's the 17th. How old will she be? Patty started cutting on the cadaver the first day of medical school, a man with lung cancer. She had an exam Friday and today. They're giving them so much work. She was a French major and hasn't had all the science the others have had, biology, chemistry, but thinks she's as smart as the others and hopes to catch up. It's a lot of work to be a doctor, a lot to remember. We're going to my awards dinner for the Ohio Watercolor Society in Columbus, Ohio, Saturday. The show is at the Nationwide Gallery first. We're staying at the Hyatt Regency Hotel. I think Peter will come with us. And then we'll visit Patty down in Cincinnati Sunday. We're also going down for Parents' Weekend on the 22nd of October for the medical students. Would you like to go with us? Your birthday weekend. I know Bud usually has a birthday dinner for you. Don't worry about my eyes. Just pray for them. Peter seems to be doing better. The working helps him. They've asked him to come back. He's doing office work, calling references for prospective workers and other things. We went to another wedding and reception Saturday and have a young couple, Peter's friend, choose one of my paintings for a wedding gift tomorrow night. The gal who bought the dogwood for $400 comes Thursday. John called that 2 of my paintings are in a bank downtown and I have 3 in an art gallery and just arranged another show at St. Peter's in November for the Art League that I'll have a few in. Did you like my Christmas card? Would you like some imprinted with your name? Chris's letter was interesting. I mentioned the gambling and harmony in the home that she and Bud mentioned, but my cooking part I mentioned to others earlier and had not seemed annoyed. We thought it amusing, really. I think Dad has had a chemical imbalance causing his temper. Rachel and Pamela are coming again on the 15th and want to go to the symphony, but we have Shakespeare tickets Thursday, Friday, and a wedding reception Saturday. They want to go sailing too. We're going to Cincinnati October 22nd, Parents' Weekend at the medical school. Do you want to come? Thank you for the lovely birthday card and anniversary plate. Love, Ruth. 21508 Avalon Drive, Rocky River, Ohio, 44116. November 10th, 1983. Dear Mother and Dad, it was good to talk to you at Bud's on your 86th birthday. It was wonderful of him to come home and cook another good dinner for you on your birthday. You sounded so happy and glad that you are so well remembered. It's a wonderful tribute to you to have so many friends at your age. We're so glad that you are doing so well. Thank you for your letter about it all. I have been trying to get caught up on so many things. Just yesterday I finished digging up my geraniums and put in my pansies and a few hyacinths. However, I have 120 bulbs yet to put in. The weather has been beautiful, warm in the 60s the last few days. However, a storm is coming in from Canada. We put up some drapes on the beach house to help the cold windows too. The last ones got really wrecked in the storm when the windows broke. Michael Ray lived down there all summer. Patty did the summer before last and says she wishes she could go down there to study now. I believe your prayers for Peter are working. He got a temporary job at Union Carbide, and the street address is 1251. I drove him the first morning and was impressed at the coincidence of the number of the address, 1251, your address. He's been there over 2 weeks, and they've asked him back for the 3rd. He's also been swimming, and that helps him. Patty has been working so hard. She has so much to learn. So much microanatomy, biochemistry, and so forth. They had to cut their body in half last week with a saw. She showed us the man's heart while we were there, took it out. They have done some clinical interviews too. They do so much. Mark, too, is working so hard. He sold the one business and helped the new people get started and is putting the money into the second business. They are doing $20,000 a month in that. He phoned me yesterday. He's also going to classes at night and has quite a few fellows working under him on the asset management. John, too, has been so busy in trial all last week and won. Rachel Ann Dearest and her friend Pamela Scowthorne were down last weekend from Toronto, the 3rd time since September. We're also playing bridge tonight and going to the ball at the Yacht Club next week. In 2 weeks, it will be our Thanksgiving. Mark and Jan and Patty will be home for it. A long drive from Boston for Mark. My Christmas card was a sellout. 25,000 cards. I barely got enough for myself and you. However, they decided to reprint them because they had so many orders. Air Canada has a special on, and I thought you might have come to Toronto and here to see Janet. I went back to the doctor at the Cleveland Clinic. John took me, and my operation is healing. It cost over $800. I have to learn to live with the dark blob and the central vision. I haven't painted in months, but got a painting in the gallery at the Beck Center, an invitational. God bless. Love, Ruth. 21508 Avalon Drive, Rocky River, Ohio, 44116. December 2nd, 1983. Dearest Mother and Dad, I was so glad to receive your letter, but so sorry your back got cold in the car and you got lumbago. Hope it's getting better. Maybe you should have a healing pad or hot water bottle on your back before you get into a cold car. We're sending you a Christmas gift that might help. Hope it does. We've had a busy and exciting time here and more to come. Mark and Janice drove from Boston the day before Thanksgiving, Wednesday, and were here in time for dinner. I think they got up at 4 o'clock in the morning and stayed until Sunday afternoon. And Patty drove up from Cincinnati Medical School with Marco Bodor, who graduated from Harvard also the same time. It was so great having them all here, and we did so many things together. The symphony, art museum, movies. Joan phoned from Carol's as everyone was arriving here that Carol and Dave weren't getting back from the Bahamas until Thanksgiving Day and wanted to know when to put in the 28-pound turkey and how was I on gravy. Carol and Dave didn't get back until 11 o'clock in the morning. We had dinner about 2 o'clock p.m., so she was very efficient. She phoned Joan from the Bahamas to put the turkey in at 3:45 a.m. Dick made the dressing, peeled over 10 pounds of potatoes, a delicious dinner, about 20 of us, 2 tables. Peter was the youngest one there. John's mother made scalloped oysters and sweet potatoes, Jell-O salad, coleslaw. I took and made pies. Barbara Smith brought rolls, Janice a casserole and salad, and brought a lovely mum bouquet with Saskatchewan lilies in that we used at Carol's and Carly's for a bridge luncheon. Shirley Cullard had given us their box seats at the Cleveland Symphony, so we all enjoyed that Friday. At Carol's we all stayed for supper too, so she must have been exhausted. John's mother could hardly talk. I had a bridge Wednesday and 2 art leagues yesterday and putting up another art show today. My Christmas card is being reprinted today. More later. Love, Ruth. 21508 Avalon Drive, Rocky River, Ohio, 44116. December 4th, 1983. Dearest Mother and Dad, John mailed your Christmas cards on Saturday, December 3rd, airmail, so that you should have them by the time you receive this. They reprinted Winter Woods on Friday, and the Society for the Blind had an employee deliver them here Friday evening, 3 big boxes. I also have your photo in for 50 copies that should be ready this week, and I'll send it to you, the one that was in the newspaper. I'd like to have gotten the reprint from the newspaper like Bud got for you, but you never sent me a complete print, and I don't think we can duplicate it from Bud's copy. I was so very shocked and saddened to learn of Leslie's death. Joan told us that her sister found her and she'd been dead for 2 days and that they were going to have an autopsy. What happened? Was it the diabetes? Insulin shock? How very traumatic for her sister and Ted. I remember talking to Betty about our daughters and the great reunion we would have. Let it be so for them. We'll write to Ted. We're so happy that Peter's still working at 1251 Union Carbide. Your prayers, I believe. Union Carbide has asked him to stay until Christmas now. He seems much happier now. He gave his 4th talk at the Welsh home on El Cid, 11th century Spain. He also goes swimming. It seems so good to have Mark, Janice, and Patty home, too, for Thanksgiving. We did so many things together. Carol's Thanksgiving dinner was a great success, a real production. We had the Cullards box at the Symphony, and they all went to the Art Museum. We all went to church and communion, and the 10 of us for brunch at the Yacht Club. It would have been wonderful to have you here. They had a special on Air Canada, very cheap. I believe I wrote to you about it. Thought you might like to visit Janet and us. Connie is in Chicago for it. We had great weather, 60s and 70s. We've had only one snow that melted, so we're in an oasis of the storms, 45 degrees today. Patty is studying so hard and has 3 exams and will be home December 15th for 2 weeks, and Mark and Janice will fly home for a week. So we'll have everyone here for a week over Christmas and New Year's. I have so much to do to get ready. I put up another art show Friday at church. I have paintings in 5 places at the moment. I have to finish a painting for the Cleveland Orchestra, the Scheherazade auction. I played duplicate bridge at a luncheon at Carly's Wednesday. Highest was 25, second 23, and I tied for third at 21, so I'm getting better. You must try duplicate bridge. Someone said you'd be good at it if you play so well otherwise. It is much more of a test. You'd like it, I think. I hope your lumbago is getting better and no complications. God bless. Love, Ruth. December 5th, 1983. Dearest Mother, here are some of the reprints of the copy that Bud sent us of your anniversary party. Thought you might like to send some of your card in your cards. As John was mailing my letters yesterday, he noticed that I was sending Bud's letter to you. I must have been tired, for I inadvertently addressed them both to you, he tells me. Sorry. Hope you can give Bud this information on the trip over the phone. We love you, Ruth. 21508 Avalon Drive, Rocky River, Ohio, 44116. December 11th, 1983. Dearest Mother, I am sending about 45 of the 50 reprints of your 60th wedding anniversary newspaper article. I'm sorry I didn't get them to you in time to put into your Christmas cards, but you may have a few left to send. I kept out a few for Mark, Jan, Patty, and Peter. I'm so sorry about your lumbago and your being in pain. John's mother has been ill and in since Thanksgiving also. We may not be able to get over for Christmas. Patty has exams this week and then home Thursday, so lots to do. Peter is still working, but it may end. It's been wonderful. Except for the first couple of days, a man has been picking him up at the door and driving him and bringing him home to the door. Wonderful. Peter's so much better, like himself again. Praise the Lord. He's getting his resume typed and thinking of taking training in something. John settled a $125,000 case and gets 1/3 of that for the office. And John's mother gave $3,000 of Ted Zook's will, and John gave it to Patty for her medical school tuition. Great. I'm mailing you your down winter coat for Christmas. I've worn it so it's used. Love, Ruth. Myers, Henneman, Schneider, and Ray Corporations. Attorneys at Law, Cleveland, Ohio, 44115, December 12, 1983. Dear Gus, I thought you would enjoy reading about Robert Vesco's latest escapade. We hope you're feeling better. Love, John. 21508 Avalon Drive, Rocky River, Ohio, 44116. December 27th, 1983. Dearest Mother and Dad, happy 61st wedding anniversary. Mark and Janice, Patty and Peter are all here at home. We had a lovely Christmas. Love, John and Ruth. 21508 Avalon Drive, Rocky River, Ohio, 44116. December 30th, 1983. Dearest Mother and Dad, there are 2 enlargements here, one for you at home and one for Dad to have near his bed at the nursing home. Love, John and Ruth. Now we have 2 letters to the editor based on the original publication, and the first is from my brother, Mark Doran Ray. Dear Peter, thank you for the recent SFMC. Really great photos and insightful letters. Mark D. Ray, Carlsbad, California. And the next letter is from my father, John S. Ray. Dear Editor, another 4 pages of very interesting pictures. Tara Ray. The articles on Robert Vesco and Carlos later really bring back the memories. How extremely fortunate that your mother was with an excellent eye surgeon when her retina tore. Amazing. So many great family activities. Peter was getting better. Your mother was going great guns with her art. A wonderful time in our lives. Keep up the good work. Love, Dad. John S. Ray, Rocky River, Ohio. Well, that concludes today's presentation. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. God bless you. Take care, and I'll see you next time.